Oh my god, you guys, this episode is beautiful. Oh, it's so fucking good. Oh my god. Uh, if I wasn't a man, I would have cried. Okay? It's that good. The music in this episode hits so fucking hard. Oh my god. Finally, episode 9. It had to take 9 episodes to get to where we are now. And all that build up finally paying off in some way, shape, or form. If only even a little bit. If you don't think it's substantial. Oh, just a little bit. We finally have a new path for Thorfinn. Jesus, yes. Oh, it's so great. I'm not exaggerating. The piano and the violin go so fucking hard in so many scenes here in this episode. It's nuts. They nailed it. The tonal shifts between the nightmare and then after it's fucking great. They do a fantastic job, and the animation too is a step up in a lot of scenes in this episode as well. So finally, we got some more dynamic animation for these scenes here it should be that way the entire time, but now we got it at least. This is a great episode. So where we left off in the last episode, Thorfinn had just been knocked out, right? He got the daylights kicked right out of him. So right now we are in a dreamland with Thorfinn, dreamland, quote unquote. So he believes right now, at this point in time in his dream, that everything that's happened up until the point where he just got knocked out. Oh no, that was the dream. All right, we're doing that shtick. And the music is going so hard in this scene. It's beautiful. So he's in dreamland right now, or nice dreamland. He's all. This is how he's seeing himself here. But don't fret too hard because it's about to change in a millisecond. After Thorfinn has a nice peaceful time here for a little bit. We jump back a little bit to what's happening in the present. Well, it's all the present, but what's happening in like real life. Einar has successfully beaten down all the bad dudes here, all the farmhands that were giving our boys so much trouble. They really just decide to leave after Einar puts up so much of a fight. They understand he's not giving up. They're gonna go back to the master and they're gonna tell on them. You guys are fucked. You're gonna die. We don't give a fuck. You can't do that. You're slaves. You can't fight us. You can't do that. And they're gonna lick their wounds and leave. Einar succeeded in protecting Thorfinn. Essentially, it was great on him. Even though he's really strong. I mean, he can fight like peasants. Plebs. He can't fight warriors. There's no fucking way. But he can fight these guys who don't know like anything. And Einar is again. I think I said this last episode, a few episodes ago too. He's really strong. He's really built. He's just not a fighter, but he does everything he can here to just protect Thorfinn and himself. Really, just give these guys a piece of his mind. Like fuck off. I don't care. It's great. And we're gonna go back after that's all taken care of. We're gonna go back into the dreamland where Thorfinn is. Luckily for him, he sees disheveled Daddy. A character we haven't seen in so long. Again, a reminder: this is just a dream. He believes all of this is real though at the time until the nightmare happens, where he sees his father. He's like, "Oh, Dad, I had crazy shit happen." But his father here. Oh my God, I can't. Thor's. That's his name. Oh my God, I almost forgot his name. Don't get mad at me, please. It's been a while since I watched season 1, even though I remember everything. It's been a while since we've seen him. After his father talks to him a little bit, and we get this. Oh my God, this beautiful transition. We just go from bam. Who did you kill with your blades? Thorfinn is very confused about this act, and then it shifts. We get a shift, and the music changes, and now Thorfinn's literally killing a kid Einar with his prized blades that he got from his father. Man, oh my gosh, it's fucking. These things are so delicious. Oh my God, so painful to watch this, honestly. Not in a bad way. It's very good. So terrified at like what he's done. He's just this is not something that Thorfinn is really about anymore. He's been super scared about this fact for since the whole deal with Askeladd and Canute. He turns his body around. Einar's a bit older and it's terrifying. Thorfinn further, and then the scene changes again, and Thor's is back. And this is incredibly important for Thorfinn's character right here. What Thor's is going to tell him, because this is a scene that happened, I believe, in the first movie, yeah, the first season as well. Right when Thor's died, he gave him these words that I couldn't. Thor's was like, "I'm sorry, couldn't teach you." Reminder: this is all basically Thorfinn's subconscious coming out to deal with itself with him. This is like what's happening now. We're really dealing with the root of the issue. Before I thought it was like that episode, but now this is the episode, the penultimate episode, where Thorfinn's finally gets his true goal and what he has to do and what he needs to do. So in this scene, we get Thor's here. This is particularly good. It's gonna transition again after this when Thor tells him, and this happened in the first season when Thor's coddled a little orphan here. Nobody's your enemy. This is a very important line that resonates through the entire series after this. It's going to be sticking with Thorfinn forever, literally till now in the manga too. Nobody is your enemy. Your no enemy exists, Thorfinn. And this is gonna we get into this more nice scene where Thorfinn being trampled, not trampled, he's being dragged by his subconscious into like the deepest pits of like his sorrow right now. This is the representation of what's happening here. And so the curse is dragging. We get another beautiful scene. He's getting dragged down to the rocks, and the animation's so good. And then as he's getting dragged down, Thorfinn trying to like not get dragged down, just fucks up his fucking fingernails. Just oh god, it's so gruesome. Oh my god, it's so good. So the curse is really trying to grab Thorfinn. Now this is none of this is real. Thorfinn compares this sort of dream to Valhalla. Obviously, if you know about Valhalla and what happens there, it's a mythical place where all Viking warriors go to fight every day, and then they feast with the gods or whatever. This is not that. Thorfinn thinks it is, but it's more like literally hell, hell on earth, essentially. And we get some beautiful animated scenes with like weird half zombie corpses and skeletons, all just like fucking murdering each other. It is a little bit like Valhalla, but there's no peace here at all. There's no feasting. Everybody's just killing each other. Everybody is enemy is everybody except for yourself. It's a horrible place. Now Thorfinn, it's explained he's been here before. This is also a representation of like where Thorfinn has been when he was with Askeladd. This is the arena he's delved into, the warrior arena where all the scum of the earth go to. It's both a representation of his own mind, bringing it into form, and it's also another metaphor between all warriors in this anime, where they would go and what they all think about. It's pretty gruesome what happens here. Oh, it's fucking great animation, absolutely brilliant. Look at that, beautiful. Everybody's laughing, having a good time, killing each other, and we get to see a character we haven't seen in so long. Our boy Björn. Our boy Björn is back. And if Björn is back, then we all know who else is around, right? So this is Thorfinn talking to Askeladd. Askeladd is back now. Oh my god, it's so good. Let me get that good shot of Askeladd if I can. It's gotta be, there he is, our boy Askeladd. Now, he's not zombified like everyone else. I assume this is because Thorfinn just sees him in like a different light now than he used to. He almost like looks up to Askeladd in a lot of ways too. Askeladd is sort of his mentor. Askeladd's been down here fighting, for eternity, doing stuff, but he's also just chilling because he's just so fucking cool. Can't stop him. Askeladd and Thorfinn have a very long talk where Askeladd is just like, you've been here before, Thorfinn. I know what you've been up to. No, this isn't Valhalla. The Valhalla is a much better place than this. The underworld. This is where all the shit piles go to, and they fight eternally, and nothing good ever happens here. And nothing good will ever happen to anyone. So let's explain that Askeladd has seen Thorfinn drag himself out of this place, and it's extremely hard to do. Now, Thorfinn's capable of doing this because, like the title of the last episode, I believe, was man empty or something, or empty. Thorfinn became empty. He stopped being a warrior, so he couldn't come to this place. He was disillusioned. He was disheartened, and he stopped. He couldn't move forward in any way. He couldn't move back either. He was lost essentially, almost like limbo. But it's also connected to his nightmares in that sense. Every night he has. We can assume he comes back here every night. Back to the pit, comes back here. Maybe not always coming back down here. It specifically said that he came back down here because he hurt someone with violence. That's something that he cannot do. So, being dragged down here, uh, Thorfinn is just, he believes this is what this is what he deserves, essentially, being in this place. But he doesn't, he cries. He doesn't. He's sorry for all the horrible things he's done, obviously. But even Askeladd, like, oh, Thorfinn, you're still just a retarded little kid, I know. And this is when a massive pile of curses try and grab onto Thorfinn. Now, this is explained. Thorfinn doesn't know who these people are. These are the curses of the people that he has killed. So this is another like representation of Thorfinn's guilt, just dragging him down to this place. And there's like, you can see there's like hundreds of bodies here. So hundreds of people that Thorfinn has just murdered. Hundreds of families, women, children alike. He has killed children. He's killed women as well. He's killed a lot of fucking people. Thorfinn was not a nice man back in the day, guys. He was not nice, alright? He did a lot of horrible things. Now, uh, and Thorfinn is sorry that he just can't. He doesn't even know who these people are, and he doesn't. Even in his like dream world, in his subconscious, he still like can't remember because it's so long ago. He doesn't know any of their names. He doesn't really know what they even look like. He just killed people, out of revenge. He was in the haze back then, right? And this is another important part where Thorfinn starts crying. He's so sorrowful that he just can't repent for these sins that he's caused. Everybody starts shooting at Thorfinn, so Askeladd goes down there to fight all the archers that were in there. More incredible scenes, and at this point, Askeladd gives him the courage. No, you can get out of this, Thorfinn. You've done it before. Do it again. Change yourself. You can do it. So you could maybe think of like Askeladd as I want to say like the nice, the good angel, the angel on his right shoulder, giving him advice, almost like his conscience. It's like telling them, no, you have to keep on fighting. You have to keep going up, climb up, climb up with them with you. You can't leave them behind either. You have to keep trying for everyone. Become a real warrior. We're gonna find out, not in this episode, but we know what it means to be a real warrior a little bit later. That's okay. And we get another. This is like the best scene in this episode, probably the whole season up to now. We get a amazing, incredibly dynamic scene of Thorfinn climbing up the cliff or the rocks of the pit into his waking up. Now he's up with his hand reaching out in the air. He's back to reality. That an amazing scene done by the animators for this episode, brilliantly well done. They captured the tone and the themes and the messages from the manga and translated it perfectly into this episode. The music in these scenes hit so fucking hard. The violin and the piano specifically are just going fucking nuts in those scenes. They're crazy good. And Thorfinn wakes up. Thorfinn wakes up, realizes, oh, that was all a dream. Or was it a dream? Well, I know what to do now. Being a warrior means something else. So he goes up to wake up Einar. Einar's like, yeah, we won. We're all right. It doesn't matter. And we're gonna get some. Finally, this is what Thorfinn's gonna promise to himself, and this is gonna stay with him. This is his first goal. It's gonna change slightly once we get to like the big event, because there's some things that like have to be done. But Thorfinn, basically, I'll just say he will no longer kill anybody. He can still use. He says specifically here, "I will never be violent in my life ever again." His oath, apt title for this episode. But that also implies that he can't hurt anyone with anything. Like he can't punch people or kick people. Later, it's gonna change slightly to okay. He can use some kind of violence to control people to make sure they don't hurt anyone else. He'll just never kill anyone. It's his oath. If he breaks it, who knows what'll happen, right? It's a line that he will not cross. We've drawn the line. We've drawn the line. Fuck me. It's drawn now. We won't cross this line. It's beautiful. So now Thorfinn has his goal. He's told it to Einar here. Einar's like, I understand. We'll walk this path together. And it's just absolutely beautiful. And while climbing this cliff, he sees the visage of his father again. Almost like this is the thing that his father, Thor's, had hinted at ever since season 1. The things that Thorfinn should be and should emulate instead of the revenge plot that happened. But obviously, things didn't go all that way. It took time for Thorfinn to learn about what to do, and his character has just grown dramatically through all these episodes. And it's a whole super story arc with this just one guy doing all these things, trying to figure out life. It's brilliantly done. So I believe in the last episode, I said that consequences don't matter. I was correct. I wasn't actually sure. I couldn't remember correctly. If something did happen to them after they fought those peasants, but I was right. Yeah, nothing actually happens to them. The master is like, no, we're not gonna do anything to them. We found evidence of the farmhands doing shady shit. So instead of punishing Thorfinn and Einar, they're gonna sweep it under the rug, create a cover story. Just a bunch of boars broke all those wheat plants. Everything's gonna be fine. There's gonna be no fighting. Partar Pater helped significantly in the story of calming down the master. Even the master was like all for it anyway, because he doesn't want any problems on his farm. He doesn't want to have to kill people or punish people, because he's a bit of a coward, and he's also a bit of a softy. This is really good. So Thorfinn and Einar, they go back to learning. Well, Thorfinn in particular goes back to like learning how to farm. He's giving his all into this, with his new goal in mind, and he's gonna be stronger for this as a person. It's all gonna culminate a few episodes later when we get to the big event. It's gonna be magical. I love this episode. I think this is the best episode so far in this season, no doubt in my mind. It is beautiful on so many parts. They get so many good things right. Animation's good. The characters have grown dramatically since all the other episodes. It's beautiful. The music is beautiful. So many beautiful scenes. Oh my god. They probably couldn't have done any better. This is damn near perfect what they did here in this episode. It's worth all the build up and the setup, everything that's happened so far from the beginning of the season. Man, I loved it. It's only going to get better. Only going to get better. All right, you guys. I think I'm done rambling. I just really loved this episode. It was so good, man. I couldn't believe it, man. I forgot all this shit happened when I was reading the manga. It's been a while. I need to catch up again. All right. I'm done rambling. You guys have a good day. See ya.